Hi, everyone. Welcome to another interview for our Fishbowl Two curatorship. We have with us today Maria Cunningham from Nikster Productions, and she is the artist that is showing in the Fishbowl this month in December. And we're really excited to find out more about Maria and her work. So, Maria, can you please introduce yourself and tell us more about Nikster Productions?
Hi, nice to see everyone. My name is Maria Cunningham. I run Nikster Productions, which is kind of like my toy company type thing that I do. It's my pseudonym that I use for the toys. I've been in Portland now for about 4 years. I came here from Wisconsin, so it was a bit of culture shock when I got here. And I plan on staying here for a number of years now. And I came out here for work and I'm enjoying it so far. And I'm trying to insert myself into the gallery scene, into the art scene here. And so it's going pretty well.
Great. Can you tell us more about your art practice? How did you, get started making the work? Do you only work in this medium? Tell us a little bit about the medium that you work in and how you got started and a little bit about your practice.
Yeah, so I actually have a degree in ceramics, which I don't mention all the time because I don't use it ever, but I've started using it now. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, I do have that thing that I can mention. So I have a degree in ceramics. When I got out of school, I realized wow, clay and firing kilns is really expensive. So I moved on to Sculpey clay. So that's what I'm using with now. I'm working with Sculpey clay, and then sometimes I use epoxy sculpt, which is kind of like a finisher, molder type material. But how I got started making what I call toys are, I'm a collector at heart, and so I collect a lot of things. One of the things I collect are vintage toys from my childhood because I've always wanted to get back that sense of wonder that I had playing with toys, and I really wanted to get back that feeling that you get when you first get a brand new toy, and it's new in the package, and you're excited to open it, and it has all these accessories and things with it. So I wanted to get back that kind of feel.
That is the best feeling. And I Christine was here yesterday and we were talking and she's like, I had to put this here in December. When I saw the work, I was like, this is absolutely December, because it does give you all those feels of a kid, especially with the holidays coming around.
Yes.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. And so I collect vintage toys, and so I have some from my childhood, and I was really interested in the toy packaging and how that kind of gets into consumerism and how we are attracted to certain packages over other packages. And so I started kind of researching that and looking around and seeing old vintage toy catalogs. I was really into the old Toys R Us big toy book. So I kind of wanted to do something around that. And so I actually didn't know what I was doing at first. I started making toys during the pandemic. I made my first toy last year. And my first toy was COVID Friends, which is in the window there.
Maybe we should pull it up, and we could talk about the different, we can share the screen and show everybody yeah. what we're talking about, and you can tell us more about the piece. It'd be great.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so these are, I kind of cheated on this window. I don't have a piece, I have 23 pieces because I was like, well, if they're giving me spots, I'm gonna just put it in. And I think COVID Friends is in the upper, yes, it's in the upper right-hand corner here. So that was my first toy that I made. And they are toys because, yes, during COVID, things were locked down and everything. So when you don't have stuff that works, it turns into a big, thing. So that was actually my first toy, and it was very inappropriate. And so I was like, oh, I kind of like this. I like making toys in these packages, and I like kind of packaging them this way and like making people stop and look. It's like, is this a toy? Is it not a toy? So I really enjoyed that. And so I used to go to the dollar store and just look at different packages that they had there. And then I would purchase ones that I thought I could fit little figurines in. And then I found out like, oh, there's actual companies you can get these from, and they actually have a name. They're called blisters. So that was
there's so many things that have like a name that you don't even think about in the world. Like I've never heard that term before. And I'm like, of course there has to be a name for it. Yeah.
Yeah, someone has to make these things. It's like, okay, I can find someone who makes those things. And yeah, but starting out, I used to just buy packages of things I didn't need from the dollar store. And I would use the packaging to make these. So I kind of make these toys as I want people to kind of reflect on their childhood and the toys they had then. But I also want to kind of do a play on, okay, if we were giving children these toys now, like what would we want to say about adulthood? Because I feel like toys gave us this kind of really whitewashed view of adulthood that is not
much more glorified than it actually is. I like the
yes, they didn't,
about the paying bills, yeah.
They didn't tell us about, bills and studio apartments and roommates and all that fun stuff that comes along with that. So I kind of wanted my toys to kind of talk about like difficult situations, difficult topics, but also kind of have a funny side to it because like, yeah, a lot of things are bad right now. And, we've got COVID, we've got white supremacy, we've got capitalism, which is kind of crumbling in, my opinion. And, so many things are kind of like sad right now. So like, I wanted to bring back some levity to the situation. Like, yes, things are bad, but there's also a way you can laugh at them. So some of them are speaking to specific like cultural events or subjects, and then some of them are just like gaffes because there's some of them where I just couldn't help myself. Where it's like, okay, so in the upper,
this attempted murder one is exactly like that. It's just
yes,
like, it's just too
yes,
it's just too good. Yeah,
like if I'm sitting here and I'm chuckling while I'm making it, and I can't stop laughing, that's how I know it's a good toy. If I keep laughing through the whole time. So yeah, so in the lower left-hand corner is your very own Black friend. And I made that in response to the George Floyd murder. Because when that occurred, I started getting all of these messages from like all these white people who knew me, and they were like, how are you? Are you okay? How can we help? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why now? Like, why are you doing this now and not before? Like, what jumpstarted this for you? And it was just kind of weird because all these emails like ended the same thing. You don't have to respond. And it's like, so you don't want me to respond, or you don't want me to, it was just a weird dynamic that was going on. So I made this friend because I felt like I was that friend. I have another one of these where it looks exactly like me. So I made a girl and a boy. So nice. The girl looks exactly like me. But yeah, this one, I just need to get this one out because it was sitting in my mind for a few months, and it was just like, it was a lot to go through during that time. And I wanted some way to kind of get that out. So that's where the idea for that one came from. If we zoom out a bit.
Well, I love just the way that you use your sense of humor, and satire to cope with real issues. Someone was looking at the window the other day, and I stopped to chat with them about it. And it's like, at first I look at it and it's funny, but then I keep, and it's drawing me in, it's wanting me look and read and really engage. And then I realize like, there's some really serious things here and that's the incredible thing I think about art is that, when you can speak a certain language that people it's their language. Most of us always deflect intense situations with humor. That's just like a normal human thing to do.
Yes.
There was another artist, Joyce J. Scott, who her work has a lot of humor and satire in it. And I got to interview her once and I asked her about it. And she was like, it's some things are just so tragic. And there has to be something to break that tension of the things that I'm so frustrated about or angry about or just appalling, and call attention to it, Yeah. So what was the next one that you wanted to? I can zoom in on another one.
Oh, another one. So let's zoom in on, okay, so zoom out more. So I can go to a funny one next. Holiday dinner, which is right next to COVID friends up top. So this I made during COVID. So basically, I made that during COVID, and that was basically my holiday dinner because I couldn't see my family. I couldn't go home. And so it was like, there's other people like me out here now. Like, who else is having a lonely holiday dinner? So I put that in there. There's also there's a holiday dinner and there's a lonely dinner. So lonely dinner is just me, that's just called Tuesday for me, where I'm just eating by myself. And so I put, tuck in loser there because, it's sometimes my dinner choices can be funny. And I know there's other people out there who are like living the same way as me, where it's like they subsist off of the Trader Joe's freezer section, and there's nothing wrong with that. So there's that one.
Solidarity in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So other ones that I've done that are more serious. So the Karen one, people think is like very funny, but also like Karen's really trouble me because I know that if I were, in a situation with a Karen, that things could escalate very quickly. And it's funny here that she has, her little t-shirt on and she's already calling the manager. She's got her cell phone out, but a lot of times that can lead to things that, situations that get escalated for no reason. And so this is something that's like it's funny, but it's also same times like she could do some real damage there. And she knows that. And that's why she's calling to do damage.
To have that power. Yeah. And I think that, and the irony is like the live, laugh, love, like as if I'm so, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch. Very on point with the live,
laugh. So yeah, that's Karen. And then next that is that Bridgerton guy. Anyone who's seen Bridgerton knows what that is about.
Yeah.
No spoilers. And then to the next of that is another one, kind of a serious one called Thoughts and Prayers. And this is I was actually thinking about making another one of these because when things happen in the US, people are like, oh, it's so sad. Oh, you have my thoughts and prayers. Oh, it's terrible. But like, what are those worth really? Because like people don't use these actions to like change. For example, like mass shootings, like after every mass shooting, there's a whole like, oh, this is terrible. It shouldn't have happened. And it's like, okay, but how are we going to stop it from not happening again? And there's never that conversation. So this Thoughts and Prayers, it talks about, says completely useless for systemic racism, preventable pandemics, mass shootings, and much more. And it's just like, what are these worth? They're not worth much if nothing's going to change after them. So that's where I was going with that one.
So they're crap in essence, right?
Yeah.
Great.
And then, yeah, I'm not sure. So Taste Like Poverty, that one's on the other side of that one. That's talking about what I call struggle food. And I was talking to someone about this a few months ago, where it's the food that you eat when you don't have much else. And I remember like this food, like growing up, like the Spam and the vegetable medley.
My childhood was like Lipton, noodle packets and ramen.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yes. Peanut butter jelly. I should put that on there, but like, I love it so much. And like, I eat that to this day. So it's like,
I know,
That's
so
a
do I.
treat for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking about all the food that I had when I was younger that I, don't have to eat now, but sometimes I do because I kind of miss that nostalgic feel for it. Like my sister eats not vegetable milk. She eats hamburger helper a lot, and we all make fun of her. And she's like, "It's good. I like this." And it's like, yeah, there are some foods that we grow out of and that we don't have to eat anymore because our circumstances change. But then it's like we still want that food sign because that food is comforting. Comforting. It reminds
Mhm.
you of childhood. It reminds you of your youth. Um, and so, yeah, that was the story behind that one. I'm not sure how many more of these I should go into because there's 23 of
Yeah,
them.
we could go all day, but I
Yeah,
like
we
what we
could.
could say to people, leave a little mystery for other people to come and come
Yeah.
down to the window and see it for yourself and spend some time. It feels it's one of the most like just draws you in. Like I've seen so many people just on the street walking and then really take a lot of times people will stop and look at the window, but it's like people
Mhm.
stop and like hang out the window, laugh to themselves, take pictures. Are like they can't believe what they're seeing. That this really has got people thinking too. Like, and I think that's one thing that about art that's awesome is that it really creates like an entry point and it's a conversation starter. So maybe these topics may be really heavy and hard to talk about, but your tongue-in-cheek and playful manner, I think, draws people in, and then before they know it, it's like, yeah, it's in your face, and now we have to talk about it. Now,
Yeah.
and I love it, and people want to, because there's something about it that feels like it's okay to talk about. I think a lot of times too, it's like people have a hard time initiating conversations, or
Mhm.
they want to talk about it, or when is an appropriate time to talk about it, or I don't know. And so there's a certain light, it makes it like a lightness about it, not that it's a light subject matter, but it kind of lightens
Yeah.
that heaviness of even just broaching these topics. And then they're all amazing things. You could go on and on.
Yeah.
And so I encourage you all to come down to the window. It'll be up until December 31st. We're located at Northwest 9th Avenue in the Pearl District. And so you can check out the window. And I'm going to stop sharing so we get back to our main screen. So what's next for you and Nikster Productions? Tell us what you're up to.
So I feel like I've just kind of scratched the surface of these toys. So I have a sketchbook full of ideas. So there's 23 toys at the gallery now. I've made about 60 to 75 of them. I make them pretty much every night. um, I
That's
get off work at 5 and then I work on these until like 1 in the morning.
like
So
an elf.
yeah, it's like an obsession now.
It's
I
like
can't
eating elf.
stop. Yes. So I get these ideas in my head and then like they'll stay in there. And it's like, okay, I just gotta make you because you're not gonna get out of my head unless I make you. um, so I'm a little busy elf working. So I feel like I've just scratched the surface of these. I want to get bigger, but I have to find bigger blister packages. Um, I'd like to get into some mold making to see if I can make duplicates of these because each of these are one-offs. And other toy makers, they make like 10 or so or 20 or so of bootleg toys and then they'll sell them that way. But mine are just one of one. So it's an original, but it takes a while to do. And so I'm trying to figure out like how to get into mold making and possibly like working with already made toys and like kind of disfiguring those and seeing what I can make from those. Um, Also, just trying to get my work more out there. The gallery is a great start, so I'm happy for that. So I'm
We're
really
excited
happy to
to
be in the
show it.
gallery.
Yeah.
So yeah, from what's next is just hoping to get more of these out there and um, keep commenting on things and keep laughing because that's what's helping me through all this.
Yeah, it's great. I so appreciate just that sentiment behind it. It's just this, and at the end of the day, it's art, I think for me has always just been more like about my own therapy and like my own therapeutic act and process.
Yes.
And I don't really I'm really more in background admin, helping other people sell their art or present their work. And for my own personal art, is like becomes a lot more just about, my own self-expression, just having
Mhm.
to, it's catharsis and stuff. So it's amazing that we get to all enjoy it too, that you get to share that with us and we can have that same empathy and catharsis and have a laugh with you, about, and also, and have a dialogue too, get into these conversations, a serious dialogue as well. So I think you're brilliant in that sense of really, it's a way to engage culture like never before. It's really great. I love it. So I, well, tell us how we can follow you and keep up with you, up to date with you. You get your Instagram or social media channels. You can plug them so the good people online can follow you on the gram.
So I am on Instagram as Nikster Productions, all one word. I am also on Facebook, but I'm less active on that one. Instagram, I like the immediacy of just putting the pictures out there, and I make reels with my toys, and so those are really fun to make. So I
Cool.
do those. So Instagram is best, Nikster Productions. Also, I have about 20 toys at the store Cult on Northwest Gleason Street. So those are for sale there. And they will be there through the winter. I'm not sure how long, I guess till they sell out. But yeah, they're all there if you want to check them out too.
And we've got
Um,
all the toys that are in the Blackfish window are also for sale.
yes,
So
all of them are for sale.
you can contact me at director@blackfish.com if you want to purchase one. And I think also one thing that would be good if you just spell Nixter for everyone, just so they
Oh, sure,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's Nikster and then Productions. And then that's on Instagram.
great. Well, thanks so much for your time, Maria. It was really great hearing more about your background and getting a deeper look into this work that you make. And we just wish you all the best. And we're really excited to see what's next for you and how this project grows and evolves. And yeah, we'll definitely keep up with Maria. I think it's going to be exciting to see what she makes next. We know that she's making something every night. So there's
Yep.
going to be always new things to see. So follow her on Instagram, and so you can support her and keep up with her. So thanks again for everybody tuning in, and have a very happy holidays.
Thanks for having me. Bye.